Shalom, ladies and gentlemen. Shalom to everybody. I'm going to go over an article, and I think nothing is going to shock us. We know these officers just simply can't be trusted, and it's nothing new. They've been planting things on people in the black community forever now, and of course, when we call this out, we're the ones that are wrong. But it goes back to what I said. It's amazing. Something's wrong with us and we're committing all these crimes, but the same people that are telling us that we're committing the crimes are always lying on us, lying on police reports, planting evidence, and just hiding evidence that can clear you. So when you do stuff like that, I can't believe we're the biggest criminals. I mean, why are you helping it along the way? If that's indeed true, then it should speak for itself. But you are sitting there helping along the way and making somebody a criminal that's not a criminal at all. So that tells me you're full of shit. So I'm going to show you the video and then we will get into the article. The video is only 16 seconds and that's it. All right. But I'm going to play it through and then I'm going to stop it at a certain point because I want y'all to see something. All right. Here it is.
Hey, bro, what's that?
What?
What you just doing here?
What word?
I got you on camera, bro.
I got you on camera. Well done. Hey, bro, you just threw that in here. Yeah.
You see, the cop said, yeah. He said, yeah. You know why? Because they got the system so rigged up that anything they say is believed. But I want to just go back to a certain point. Now, there he is tossing it in.
Hey, bro, what's that?
What?
What you just doing here?
Now, right here is another cop. All right. So that tells you right there's more than one cop on the scene. See, this is why I don't want to hear nothing about good cops. I don't want to hear it. And we've seen this multiple times where they'll plant evidence or they'll do something and there's other cops on the scene and nobody does a thing. Or I showed y'all the video where a black teen was getting bitten by a police dog, had to be about 6 cops there. He's screaming in pain. Not one out of all those cops stopped it. So do not come and talk to us about some damn good police. Don't want to hear it because there's one right here. You see police right on his back. Did nothing. All right, so let's get into the article here. So this came out in the Daily News out of New York. Video appears to show Wisconsin cop planting evidence in black man's car. Department promises investigation. So this is July 24th, 2021. A Wisconsin police officer is caught on camera apparently throwing a small plastic bag into a black man's car in video shared Saturday on social media. The Caledonia Police Department confirmed the video matched the time and location of a stop. Ladies and gentlemen, these stops should not result in nothing but a ticket and everybody move on. All this extra stuff is unnecessary, but they know it. All this get out of the car. You should not have to get out of your car from a simple traffic stop, but This is what happens in America. The video, originally shared on Facebook by a man in the car, shows a Caledonia cop walk up to the car and toss a baggie into it. The man in the car asks, "Hey, bro, what's that?" The officer acts confused over the question while putting on gloves. The man tells the cop, "I got you on camera, bro." The cop responds, "I got you on camera. We're all good." The man then moves the video to the back of the car, showing the bag and saying, "Hey, bro, you just threw that in here." And another man says, "Yeah." In an Instagram post, the man in the car said he was detained for a little while, but is not locked up and was not arrested. He also promised legal action. Yeah. You know, if he would have went to jail on drug charges, he would have been in there for years, because you know how they sentence black men. He would have been in there for years. Plain and simple. I think they had to let him go because I mean, even to my untrained eye, I was able to see him toss that in there, just like everyone else. And I think he knew it was all caught, because these cops, when these videos go viral, these cops are watching the videos too. Make no mistake about it. They are watching. The Caledonia Police Department said the officer was wearing a body camera, and all squad cars in the South Milwaukee suburb have dashboard cameras. Okay. Police Chief Christopher Botch said his department is conducting a comprehensive internal review of the incident, and he promised to release all body camera footage from the incident and asked people to wait for context from the full video. Well, I don't know what context this man is talking about. It's plain and simple. He walked up to that car and tossed something in there. Ladies and gentlemen, over the years on YouTube, I have seen, and it's primarily Caucasian cops tossing. I saw one out of St. Louis where the cop went in the back of the car of a black man and planted a gun. He had a gun. You see him pull a gun out of his pocket and place it in the back seat of the car. I've seen that. And I've seen numerous videos, even out of Philadelphia, the city I grew up in, where cops planted evidence. They had a ring of cops in Philly, and this must have been like back in the 80s. They planted all these drugs. It was primarily black and some Hispanic men. It wasn't quite as many Hispanic men. They ended up releasing 1,100 inmates that they put in jail on these bogus drug planting charges. 1,100. You can find, let me see if I can find the article. I'm going to show it to you during this live stream. All right, let me just get out of here. I'm going to show it to you during the live stream. I just need to look for it. Did you see? Did I share? All right, let me share my screen. Hold on one second. You know, I'm sick and tired of people telling us that you can trust the police. All that stuff is lies. And the people saying it know they're lying. They know they're lying. So let me see if I can find that article. Let's see. Find this article from back in the day. And what happened was they had to let all these inmates go, and the police that were doing this for like a 10-year period of time, they got jailed. They did end up putting the police officers in jail that did this. Why is this all coming up like that? Okay. But Philly police, they got a standing reputation of doing that, especially to the Black community, planting drugs. They are notorious for that. I mean, I would even hear about stuff like that when I was growing up, how they would just plant stuff on folks and people would go to jail that should never have been in jail. I mean, these cops, that's why I'm saying I'm sick of people talking about trusting them. Are you kidding? Based on what? Based on what? Here it is. I got it. Okay. Let's see. These are the actual documents to it, the legal documents. But it made big news locally. Now, I probably not nationwide, but locally it made big news. All right. And look like LAPD did a similar thing. I'm seeing another one for LAPD. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see if it's here. Mm-mm-mm. All right, let me share my screen with you. I'm gonna move this over. Okay. All right, these cops that did this were jailed, and many of them that left the force confessed that they were committing crimes, especially against Black men. All right, let me get to this story. Here we go. Rogue police officer, ex-police officer testifying against drug squad, colleagues in federal corruption trial, where thousands of crimes they committed, the police, not criminals, the police committed thousands of crimes during their career. So what does that tell you? Does that sound like people you can trust? And that's why it just irritates me. You're telling us to trust the police, and these ex-officers are even admitting while they were doing their jobs, committed thousands of crimes and then lied about it. And then lied, scores of lawsuits. This is why they get so many lawsuits. So this officer had 160 convictions overturned and scores of civil rights violations. in 2013. And it was a ring of these cops doing this. And it went on for 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. That just go to show you, when they are doing stuff underhanded, they're not really looking at what these cops are doing on a regular basis. And that right there, look, Derek Chauvin had 18 complaints against him. And they were looking the other way until they just couldn't anymore. When he killed George Floyd, they couldn't look away anymore and pretend like what he was doing was not happening. And see, that's the point. Cops are out here committing way more crimes than the people that they are arresting. So a criminal is essentially arresting you and calling you a criminal. A criminal is calling you a criminal. Yeah, they steal the whole time they're in these police jobs. They're stealing the drugs. They're stealing the money. They're planting drugs on people. They're withholding evidence that can clear people. They're doing all kinds of stuff. But these are the ones that should be trusted and back the blue, right? Yeah, they are. They are. It's the one job you can have and be a real criminal. And now they're crying for people to join the police forces in this country because they are shorthanded and nobody is filling out the applications now like they were before. Yeah, I mean, they're the ones keeping the crime up. There's no doubt about it. Cops are keeping the crime up. They are the ones keeping the crime up in these neighborhoods. All right. So I especially wanted you to see that cop in the background. So there were other cops on the scene. We seen it over and over and over. It can be a bunch of cops, and a cop will do something real dirty like the one you saw in the video, and nobody at the scene does anything. That's why I laugh when they said, oh, well, police reform. If you see a cop doing something, another cop around, he can intervene. They're not going to intervene, y'all. Don't hold your breath on cops intervening. They're just going to be quiet and act like they didn't see nothing. They're not going to intervene, especially on our behalf. Okay? It just not going to happen. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me go back. I'm going to show it to you because I want y'all to see this. All right. Let me share the screen. And all right, here we go. All right, let's start from the beginning.
Hey, bro, what's that?
What?
What you just doing here?
What's what word?
I got you on camera, bro.
I got you on camera. All good. Hey, bro, you just threw that in here. Yeah.
Hey, bro, what's that?
What?
What you just doing here?
What's what word?
I got you on camera, bro.
I got you on camera. All good. Hey, bro, you just threw that in here. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to go to, let's see, let me go back. So he tossed it in there. That's him tossing it in. And if you go to about right here, here's another cop right here. He got police written right on the back of his shirt or whatever his vest he got on. Police is written there. So that's why I'm saying I don't want to hear no BS about no good cops. I don't want to hear it. Even when other cops are around and you got one rotten one like this one, they do absolutely nothing. And it doesn't, if police reform was the answer, Wouldn't we have seen changes by now? They done did 1,000 police reform bills. Nothing has changed. We don't want to hear about no damn police reform, and we don't want to hear about nobody being a good cop. We don't want to hear nothing like that. You know, just these acts alone of them doing these things to the Black community, this should be reparations. And if you don't want to give us reparations, give us all of the taxpayer money that we have paid for decades and decades, that paid their salaries, and they did not do their job. So you really got stolen money. It's unearned money. That's what you have. Give us back our money, because we're not getting the service we're paying for. Give it back. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm saying, what good is police reform, and the cops there are just going to look the other way or pretend like they didn't see nothing? It's no point. Nobody wants to hear all of that. And then you got James Clyburn talking about we'll touch on qualified immunity at another time. You know, we know what that means. That means you ain't going to get around to it at all. And what's sick is you got hundreds of politicians in this country, local, probably thousands in this country, local, state, and national. They all know what's going on with the Black community. Every last one of them know. You got to be dead and in a grave not to know what's going on and how we have been abused all this time. So that being said, they don't want us to ever be a protective class. Just understand that. It's not happening because they want to have a free for all. Anytime they want to do something to us, get the okay. All right. Okay. So all right, let me hold on, y'all. J Fecht 82, you're the fucking liar. Get your white supremacist ass off of my live stream. You know, y'all don't admit to nothing. You don't have an ounce of accountability in you. Who the fuck throws an empty bag? That bag wasn't empty. See, he got busted. He couldn't do nothing. And what are you doing carrying around bags to throw in someone's car? That don't even make any common sense. Don't come over here with your bullshit. Ain't nobody listening to that crap. Yeah, I mean, well, they threw an empty bag. Well, what are you doing walking around with an empty bag to toss in someone's car? It still don't make no damn sense. You know, you always got one of these old rockheads that want to come here and defend stuff that's indefendable. You couldn't defend that on your mama's grave. Yeah, he pulled it right from his pocket and tossed it into the car. Yeah, that's an example of a high IQ, y'all. High IQ. Jonathan, high IQ. How come y'all all got high IQs and right now the country looks like shit? And everybody got a high IQ, Jonathan. How come your country looks like shit? You know why? Because you were never meant to lead. That's why your country looks like shit. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Please, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll definitely come back and do this again. And you come back too, Jonathan. You come back too. Shalom, family.